Hi there, it's Vic. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made this Dutch folded card. This is really fun to make. So to start with, you're going to need an A4 piece of cardstock, and then what I've got here, I've just popped it on my paper trimmer, and then I'm just going to turn my card lengthways, and then I'm going to trim this at 28 centimetres. And then once that tiny piece has been took off the end, I'm then going to go ahead and I'm going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to go and score a line at 7 centimetres, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing at 21 centimetres. So at the minute you should have 2 score lines on your piece of card. So once that's done, I'm then going to turn the card 180 degrees, and then I'm going to score at 7 centimetres. And then you'll need your paper trimmer for this, or your craft knife, because what we're going to do now is we're just going to trim off the top of them corners. So I'm just using my paper trimmer here, and then I've just gone in with my scissors. I've only cut up to the score lines, so don't go past the score lines, and then I'm just taking away them excess bits of card. And please don't be intimidated by this folded card, because they are so fun to make. So once you've took away them corners, you need to score at 7.5 centimetres, and then I'm just using my bone folder just to go over them score lines. So now the base part of our card is complete. I'm then going to go in with some pattern paper, and you'll see here I don't really measure anything, I'm just guessing. And then what I'd done afterwards, I then went and used some white card because I just wanted the pattern paper to stand out a little bit more. So I ended up trimming down the pattern paper here, which is why I haven't included the measurements, because I've got no idea what they are. Anyway, I've got another piece of white card that I've used for my card insert, and the actual finished card measures about 5.5 inches, so the insert part would be about 5 inches, and the little squares I think I cut down at about 2 inches, so it gives you a rough idea of roughly where to cut it. So once them pieces are placed on the front of the card, I'm then going to use the brand new Time for Tea Designs Mum Sentiment die. This die is so pretty, and I really love this font. It's just really lovely. So it comes in 2 parts. It has the piece that cuts out the word mum, and then you have the backing piece. So I'm going to go ahead and use some white card for my backing piece, and then for the die that cuts out the word mum, I've got some pink card. So I'm just going to run them through my die cutting machine, and then I'm just going to adhere them parts together using some PVA glue. Next, I'm going to be moving on to my sentiment, so I'm going to stamp this in the middle of the card. So I've got the Time for Tea Designs. This is the Mum and Dad Sentiment stamp set, and this one is really sweet, and there's a few funny phrases in there as well. So I've just got the Happy Mother's Day stamp, and I've got some Memento black ink, and I'm just going ahead and stamping this into the card insert. And next we're using the Spring Blooms die set, and then I'm also going to be using the Landscape Edge die set. So I've just run that through my machine using some green card, and then I've also gone ahead and cut out them Spring Blooms. I love that die set. There's 3 flowers in there, and they're just really sweet, and they just bring a little bit of extra cuteness to your cards. So I'm just adhering down the stems, and then I'm going to be adding the flowers on top, and I love how this looks on the inside of the card. I think them flowers just bring it to life really. They're so pretty. So I'm still using my PVA glue. I've used PVA glue because I was just having one of them days where everything was getting stuck and going wrong. So I find PVA glue easier to work with, because if you make a mistake, you've got a couple of seconds to go back and correct it. Next, I'm going to be doing a little bit of ink blending, and I have to show you these. This is the new spinning brush caddy to hold your blender brushes. Oh, it's so amazing, I love it. So I've got my beautiful blender brush and I'm just going in the top with some scattered straw just to add a little bit of colour to that insert. And then I'm going to adhere this down again using PVA glue. PVA glue was my best friend today, so there was no mistakes with the glue. So now I'm just going to go and decorate the front of the card. So I have that mum die and I'm just adhering that to the top, and then I've gone and cut out some more stems and I'll be adding a couple of flowers, and then I did do some watercolouring for this card. They come out really wrong, so the only thing I could save was that little bird that you can see peeking through, but it's fine. I'm going to be adding a couple more critters in a minute. So like I said, I was just having one of them days where everything just goes wrong. So next I've got the butterfly stamp set, and I'm only using 2 critters from this stamp set and they're my favourite. So I'm just adding some Copic colouring, and I've listed them on the screen if you want to use the same markers. And I've just used some soft pretty pastel colours just so that they blend in quite nicely with the card and the pattern paper. And then I've also got the coordinating dies, so I'll adhere them onto my stamped images and then run them through my die cutting machine. And I was really happy with how these turned out. They were much better than the images that I'd watercoloured. So now you can see the card coming to life a little bit now. So I'm just adhering them little critters onto the front of the card, and then you can see how it opens up, and then it has them dies that are inside. And then I added a piece of ribbon at the back of the card and then just tied a little knot at the front, and I'm just trimming off them excess bits of ribbon so that when you give this to your mum, she'll obviously open up the ribbon, and this is how the card will open up. I loved how this turned out, and it was so fun to make too. And what I will do, I will go ahead and measure them pieces of pattern paper and I'll put them in the description box just in case you go ahead and make this card. And thank you so much for watching. That is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will leave all the products that I used in the video today listed down below in the description box, along with a discount code to get you 10% off your Time for Tea Designs purchases.